Good morning. Good morning. We are actually live with some audio today. Really excited about that. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. Now, if you're new here, my name's Tyler, and I'm here to help navigate you through this wild world of day trading futures. Now, here's what you can expect during these live streams is I'm going to be breaking down live price action. I'm going to be sharing my daily bias and also real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all of the action. Also, I'll sprinkle in there any tidbits that I've learned throughout the years, as well as my own personal journey. Now, if you're watching this after the stream, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below, which I'll put on after the stream is completed. You'll also find all the trades there. You'll find all the trades that I've taken and explanations on what I took and why, so you can see exactly what I was thinking and why. So lastly, for those of you that are ready to take their journey to the next step, and you want to start using Prop Firm Cash or Prop Firm Money, you can use the code DTJ to get 80% off your next Apex evaluation to start your own funded journey. You can find all the codes and links in the description. There it is, guys. There's the intro. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let's get rocking and rolling. How we doing this morning? We're going to go over some analysis. Crazy price. It's been a crazy week so far. Just in how price has been delivering. That's specifically how price has been delivering. It's been, here's the daily time frame. I'm going to get rid of some of these levels here because we don't need them right now. But you can see that since Monday, 1, 2, 3, just you can tell not a lot of expansion on the beginning of the week. Now that we are towards the end of the week, we are getting more expansion. Oh, I forgot one thing I want to do. I said I wanted to be more intentional about opening in prayer. This is day trading and Jesus. So for those of you that don't want that second part, you're going to have, this is just my channel. This is what we're going to be doing. So I want to open in prayer. Father, we thank you for the opportunity we have to make money as day traders, to make money through this avenue. Father, we just pray that you would provide for us today. Father, what you have for us, that we would receive. We don't take from the market, we receive what you have for us. I come against any spirit of doubt, selfish ambition, greed for more, lies of the enemy saying that you can't do this because you can. And Father, we thank you that today is a wonderful day. Today is a blessed day. And we honor you in today's trading. Amen. Okay. Now that we have that, let's look at this candle. Look at these candles, folks. Look at these candles. It's hard not to think that we are going to go to all-time highs again. ICT dropped a comment on X here this morning basically saying, how convenient would it be for the market to crash once a new person is in office? Basically, he's referring to Trump. It's like, how convenient would that be to put the blame on the person that they hate the most when the market starts collapsing? You know, we're at all-time highs. We've been all-time highs with Biden, you know. Anyway, that's another discussion here. I don't see where we could go. We're in a daily and weekly fair value gap. If we blow right through this, that's just very uncharacteristic. I think we're going to be around in this area for a little bit of time. And because of how large these areas are, I think it's important that we put and drop some quarters on here. What that means is we just go from here to basically, oh, there. No, I don't want that. We go from here to there. And that gives us a range for where each of these quarters are and see how we interact in each of those levels. Now, we want to get that a bit closer. Music is from Yoni Charis. Yoni Charis. Good morning, Sean, Ted, Deborah. Glad to have you. Deborah, I know it has been a tough week. I can tell you that I think, Deborah, rewind me later on in today's stream. I want to have a conversation about specifically the feelings that we get when we have losing days and how to address them and how to deal with them. Okay, we've been pushing all freaking night and morning. This is pregnant for a drop. I mean, that's what I think. I'm just saying. Let's see what happens. I need to get everything set up here, folks. I don't have anything set up. Also, lastly, we're going to have a very volatile morning. Okay, we have Fed speakers speaking. I'm only taking one trade today, and if it's a loser, I'm done. This is how I'm going to do my risk management today. I'm only taking one trade. I am only taking one trade, and whether it's a loser or winner, I'll be done for the morning, I should say, because I think this afternoon is going to have better price action. That's what I think. We'll see if that's the case. Now, the Fed speaker started speaking, I believe, at 9:20. Can somebody double check my news knowledge? I got to get a couple things set up, make sure I'm all prepped and ready to go. So I am going to take a funded trade today. I'm debating if I want to do half size, and I'm leaning towards it. So my executions are going to be on my micro account. Excuse me. And this is all about risk management this morning, folks. This is all risk management conversation here. Because we got a Fed speaker chit-chatting. And the last thing I want to do is give unnecessary profits when I don't need to. And I don't even think I'm going to log into my personal account. So my personal account is not logged in. I'm going to stay out of that. 9:30. Okay, thanks, Ted. Pending home sales, 9 a.m. FOMC speaker, 9:30. Okay, so I'm expecting some type of volatility here. Now, what that's going to look like, I don't know. And we don't even know if it's going to be clean volatility or if it's going to be, I don't know. So that's kind of what we're watching here. And I'm okay taking pre-market trades. Shoot. Because of the volatility. That's kind of what I'm saying shoot on. Right there. All right, we are ready. Oh, while I'm doing it, there's the wick. There was the wick. Did you guys see that, folks? Wasn't paying attention. I was getting my stuff set up. Did you see the breaker I just laid out? The wick into the breaker and the fair value gap and the drop, and we just hit buy sell side. I even intentionally tried to get on a little extra early today, and it still just didn't happen. Son of a gun. All right, so now that anyway, that's water under the bridge. Let's mark out our 930 price, which is right here. Okay. These are all things that we need to do. There's no previous day high. We'll mark out our opening range gap, which is going to be fairly large this morning. It's going to be very large. You can see it right here. Okay. I'm doing half size on micros. What is this? Drawing loading issue? Okay. I don't need it. We got these equal lows down here. This is my initial target based on what I'm thinking, where price is going to run to. It could obviously go way lower than that, but this is the initial draw on liquidity. In my opinion, they're the most obvious targets. You got relative smooth lines here. Can you not see my screen? Thanks, folks. Sorry about that. All right, so here we go. Thank you, Sean. I apologize. So here's our 930 price. Here's our equal lows that we're marking out. That smooth area right there. We want to make sure we have that. Smooth edges get jagged. Okay, this was the breaker that I was referring to that I just wish I was paying attention on. Right at open, wicks into the breaker, and we drop, what, 50 points? At this point, I'm only interested in a retracement back lower. I would love this to stay open. There's an immediate rebalance. Now it should pop and run this low. Immediate rebalance to this wick. I'm going to see if it wants to push right here. I'm not taking anything. I'm just price rating right now. But I'm guessing when we do an immediate rebalance like this, we run lower. Not every time. It depends how the candle opens. So based on what I saw, I think that we're going to hit this level and run lower. Nope, doesn't want to do it. That's fine with me. I'd rather it run back up to 930. So we still don't have we have our first fair value gap sitting right here. Let's see how it reacts with it. Again, I'm half size. If it ran right now, it would go without me. If it comes into this fair value gap and finds support here or resistance, then I would take it. But do you see how we don't quite reach into there? I'm not going to pre-run a move because I'm anxious about it running lower. We do not trade based off of feeling like we're going to miss a move. We take trades based off of our models. So that ran and hit that low without us because at a minimum, I would want it to come up to this fair value gap, and it didn't. Yeah, I do. I'm reading through my comments, Ted and everybody else. All my times that I refer to will always be New York Standard Time. New York time, Eastern Standard Time. It will always be that. Right here will be New York time on the bottom of my screen, which you can't see there. Let me go to my big screen. Okay, you can't even see it there. Here we go, right there. Right down on the bottom of my thing, it says 9:36. It will always be New York time, and you know that by selecting UTC 4 New York. Okay, that it will always be that. Marking an order block here, folks. We came into a 5-minute fair value gap right now. I'm going to get rid of some of these. We know we're in the weekly, right? Are you guys cool if I get rid of this weekly? I'm getting sick of all this color. It's driving me crazy. We're in the weekly fair value gap, okay? We're probably going to play a lot in that, and we're going to get rid of it. It's bothering me. Okay, there's immediate rebalance there into this fair value gap. I would like it to go deeper, but it could just be aggressive lower. Again, one trade this morning, only one trade. I'm going to be very picky. Very picky. I want the best of the best if we can get a best of the best. I don't even know if that's going to happen. So I want the best of the best, knowing the volatility that we may have and the disrespecting of price action that we may see. I don't know. And we had such a large move overnight, we could see some consolidation. Okay? I do like this though. If we close above that to that high, how many handles is that? That's 15 handles. That might be worth taking. An aggressive move. This would be my, well, technically this was our first show that price was respecting our PD arrays. I have my charts set to that by my trading platform where I got the news is set to my local time. Not sure if we can change that. Yeah, I don't know. I get my news from a different website. All right, so I'm not going to take this, but I think this is an A+ setup. Target is here. Risk is here. I'm simply not taking it because of the news and just feeling like it could run against me. So I'm not taking it. Some of these just, you got to feel it out and based on the day decide if it's something that you're willing to take or not. So 11 handle, that's only 11 handles from there either. And it looks like it might fail. I will take this inversion. If we aggressively close this, I would be interested in that. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't take that trade, folks. There you go. Wow. Let's jump to the 15-minute here. I just want to see what we got going on over here. It's going to run us without us. I'm not going to take it now. It already ran the low. Now, if it closed here and didn't run the low, I would have taken that. Okay? So, downside is the winners here so far. Don't worry, folks. This will come back up. I'm looking at the 15-minute here. At a minimum, we'll come back up to this level. This is a 15-minute breaker. I think it will probably run past that. See how we already did that? Look at that. Isn't that interesting? I didn't catch that before. 15-minute breaker. Where do we come up to? 15-minute breaker, 1-minute order block. We could come up to the, yeah. All looks good. All good things. I want to find out where our 50% of this entire leg is. So from this low to this high. Let's see what we're working with here. All right, here's equilibrium. Okay. So we're going to put this 15-minute fair value gap right here because it overlaps with that, right? That's a potential area of support. I think also the midpoint. I don't think we're going to run all this, guys, to be honest. I really don't. Good morning, Jason. Welcome. I think you were on yesterday for the first time with no audio, right? Was that you? Good reaction right here. Look at this candle. I like that. This is signature and price of lower prices. However, we have news going on right now. Okay, so we're not doing anything. We're only reading price. We're not taking trades until that perfect setup just shows itself, okay? We're not trying to do anything crazy here. Viking, what's going on, my friend? Did you guys, I didn't get to talk yesterday, obviously. But did you see the trade that we took? You see that breaker? It was like 20 handles in less than 3 minutes. It was beautiful. That was a great trade. Jonathan, good morning, my friend. Glad to have you. For all of you guys that are here for the first time or second time or here for the first week, we're glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. I'm going to turn my volume down. I think I'm peaking a little bit. So if I just got, there we go. If I just got quieter, I apologize. It's because I'm lowering my audio down. You may have to turn me up a little bit. But I was in the red, too high for the audio. So. All right, there we go. $9.44 is coming up here. These are the equal lows we had. Where is our... That's just crazy. Wow, this is our Asia low. I was trying to figure out where our Asia low is. This is our Asia low. We could see a reversal here, folks. Where's our midnight? I don't have that on here yet. Let's find our midnight price. Look at where that midnight price is. I like the way that looks. Look at that reaction to that midnight price right here. If you were up at midnight, that was the trade. Boom. All right, I like this. I do. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it if it gives it to us. Let's look at the oops. $14 handles. Potentially a 21 handle move. That may be worth it. I'm only if it has the potential of giving me 20 handles, do I want to consider it. The reason I like it is we swept the low and we didn't push aggressively lower. Usually your second after you sweep it, the recent low, if we get a close above an inversion, we run for liquidity. If we close above a fair value gap, we run for liquidity. So that's looking decent. I kind of like that idea. Audio just cut out. My audio? Is it better now? Is my audio okay now, folks? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Sounds fine to me. Okay. All right, that's good. Well, it looks like price wants nothing to do with a move back higher. That's fine with me. This is why we wait for these inversions here. Okay, I skipped the first inversion. Why? Because it was our first run lower. Usually our first attempt fails. So the second try lower, if we just barely sweep, that to me, if we start moving higher, that's a reversal, especially if we get our signature in price. And it obviously is not wanting to give it to us. It didn't give us a short. I told you I would have played a short. I would have played this short. Absolutely 100% would have played that, but it didn't give it to us. It ran the low before it gave us the close. So I'm willing to take a short. I haven't gotten a short for me to take. I could have taken these equal lows, the rejection of the equal lows, and played that as a breaker, but I just don't like it. That's just too... That's too random for me at this point. That's a good roast. Do you guys think we can hit 40 viewers today? We got 32, 34. I don't think I've ever seen 40 on my live stream at once. I know people come and go. But if you guys can do me a solid, hit the like button. Hit the like button for me. Let's see if YouTube just pops this out to a few more people. I'd really appreciate that. It's free. So is this commentary to hopefully help you guys become profitable. Let's see if we can do that. Means a lot, guys. I'm leaning towards here's what I think. I think any move up or higher is going to be short-lived, okay? Meaning we obviously have a big displacement right here. Look at this displacement on the 5-minute. We are seeing lower prices. I'm not going to go short here. I can't. If I have a model show up, then I'll take it. If I have a lower time, or if I have a lower target, we could even use the midnight open if you want. We could use this 15-minute fair value gap. Either one's fine. All of it's sitting right above the 50% level of this entire leg. So from this low to this high, that's our leg. That's the price leg that we just completed. Now we're trading inside this price leg. Anything above the 50% mark, I want to look at going short. So if I'm looking at a long and I think there's higher prices in the future, I do think we see higher prices, but right now I think we're bearish. Any move, bullish move that I take, you have to plan on being it short-lived. You cannot assume you're going to get a big run to 930 or to these swing highs. You can't. You have to take profit. You have to move your stop to break even. I love my break even strategy. Okay? Yes, it kicks me out of trades more than I want, but it saves me so much money. If you can come up with your own break-even strategy, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. What I mean by break-even, what I mean is how soon in your trade can you move your stop to break-even and have reasonable confidence that it will move higher without hitting your stop, but still protecting yourself in case it's a loser trade. So for the inversion model that we trade, I'll give you an example. When we trade the inversion model, I referenced this fair value gap right here. I said, if we close above this level here, I will take this long. So the trade would look something like this. We would take it if it closed above that gray box. Our stop loss is if we close below the gray box, and our target is the first swing high above the gray box, which is right here, 15 handles. As soon as we hit this target, you have two options, three options. You close your trade, call it a day. Second option is you move your stop to break even and you target a higher target. Third option is you take profit at the 15, at this first swing high, you move your stop to break even, and then you target a higher price with your remaining contracts. And you move your stop to break even after you hit this swing high. My strategy, which credit goes to Dodgy D Ryan, I learned some of the rules that I use from him to make sure I'm not losing money by it going against me after it hits this high. You move your stop loss to break even as soon as a swing high is taken, because after a swing high is taken, you could reverse. Look after every time we run a swing low. After we ran these Asia lows, what did we do? We went higher. After we ran these lows, we went higher. After we ran these lows, we went higher. My point is, after you grab liquidity, you typically see a retracement. Now our hope is that the retracement, when we go long here to here, when this retracement happens, we hope that it doesn't come below our level, but maybe stops here and then continues higher. And it doesn't hit our stop loss. But in case we're wrong, this stop is there to protect us at break even so we don't lose money. Okay? I'll take 25% of my trades at break even. I'm fine with that. I'll take 25% break even and only have a few losses. 70% win rate, 25% break even rate, and 5% loss rate. I like that idea. Now, since we hit the Asia low Here's our Asia low and our initial aggressive move the other direction, and is the first one I said I don't want to take. People probably lost on this trade right here. And we ran this low. We have not had another fair value gap. At this point, we're waiting for a fair value gap to tell us price is ready to start moving again. Now, if the fair value gap is inside of this consolidation, I'm not interested in it. I'm interested in moving away from this area. Now, we could just be doing this, you know, choppy back and forth all the way down to the midnight open. We absolutely could do that. And if we do that, that's fine. It's going to do that. It's fine with me. I'm not going to take a trade this morning. Okay. I said my goal is to take one trade this morning specifically because we have FOMC speakers, and I expected a choppy morning because our overnight session was very aggressive. Look at this overnight move. When you get an overnight move like this, you need to expect that the next session is going to be choppy. It's going to be consolatory. And then after it consolidates for a little bit, then it moves. So in that case, it's either lunch or the afternoon session where we may get a prolonged bigger move. Now, my style of trading isn't trying to grab these bigger moves. I'm not trying to get 100 handles. Let me rephrase that. I would love to get 100 handles, but my bread and butter of my trading is getting 10, 15, 20 handles in a move and getting out. 10, 15, 20 handles copied on 5 different accounts is a lot of money. That's all I need. That's all I'm doing. So once I do that and I keep adding to my, I'm only doing five. I only have 5 copied right now. If you are joining my journey here recently, back in July, I left a limit order on and it basically wiped all of my funded accounts. So I've had to rebuild in July and August, and I only do, yes, that's exactly what happened, Jason. So I don't get 15 eval accounts and pass them all at once. I do them one at a time. Why? 1, I'm teaching myself discipline. 2, I've been trading ICT Concepts for a year and a half now. I'm still a newbie. I still call myself a newbie. Okay? Yeah, I'm probably maybe 1 step ahead of some of you on this stream. That's fine. But that's just my trading journey, and I'm not doing those. I'm not mass grabbing them yet. So Jason, I am a realtor and a day trader. So I've been day trading probably what it feels like 2 years, but because of my schedule and the way real estate works, I'll never have to stop selling real estate because nobody wants to see houses in the morning. I only really trade in the morning. And when you talk about a full-time trader should only be taking 2 to 3 trades the entire day. Most new traders take 30, 40, 50 trades in a session. A seasoned trader will only take 1, 2, 3 trades. Now, there's the exception, but I can guarantee you, you watch as many interviews as I have, all of them, a few trades and they're done. They're out. So, yes, this is my full-time thing, but I'm also a full-time realtor at the same time. It works. It allows me to do that. I have a unique circumstance that allows me to do that. If you do have a job, do not quit your job to become full-time until you are making more than what you are employed to make. It's 9 o'clock. Just swept this high right here and hit the Asia lows again. Swept this high barely. And then immediately ran the low. Or is potentially going to run these lows. Let's see what happens. Hey, we hit 40. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here this morning. You just made history with me of hitting 40 people on stream. We are looking for a single trade this morning. If you're joining, if you have the patience, hang with us. If you don't, get out of here. Well, there we go. 8 people left. Thanks, Deborah. I'm gonna talk about what I mentioned about how. Okay, put in the comments below if you want to hear this. Okay, I want participation here. I want just a 1 or 2. 1 is yes. 1 is a yes if you agree. 1 if you agree. Typically, when you have a losing trade, let me rephrase that. When you have multiple losing trades, do you guys have this like insatiable desire to try to rectify the wrong that was done to you? Whether it's your fault or somebody else's. Do you have this encompassing urge, this feeling that's like, I can't believe that happened. I have to fix it. And it's like undeniably, it's just unbearable. I mean, it's like it consumes you. It consumes you. Okay? I want to talk about that feeling. I want to talk about that. Okay, before I do, look at this. Look at this crap, guys. We're not doing nothing right now. Look at that. Nothing. We're not. When we get a spike higher and it starts being aggressive, that's when I'll pause. That's when we'll get back on the charts. I'm watching this while I'm talking. But this is very, very important. Okay? So all of you, I mean, even if you didn't say anything, the reason I'm hitting the nail on the head on this, on that feeling, is because every single person has experienced this if you're a day trader. This is why it's so hard to communicate to other people just your experience. Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's doing good. Well, you've said that for the last 6 months. Are you making any money? No. So are you doing good or are you not doing good? Well, I've learned a lot. It's hard because some of these things that we have to deal with, normal people in normal jobs will never be exposed to some of the feelings and emotions that you guys are experiencing on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Now, there is an answer. There is a cure to this problem. There's a cure. I'm talking about in relation to, okay, I see this dropping here. I'm talking in relation to that overwhelming urge, the overwhelming feeling of rectifying the wrong that was done. Whether it was your fault or somebody else's, right? That's not, guys, there's no way we were going to be able to catch anything like this. Okay? If you're watching this drop right now and you're like, oh man, I'm feeling FOMO, how are you getting in that? There is no entry. The only thing I mentioned, and coincidentally enough, it's when the move happened, is what did I say we did? We swept this high by a tick. Look at this number right here. Look at this number right here. Watch it. Okay, that number is 436.5. Now look at it. High is 437. So it went above it by 2 ticks. And after that, it gave us the drop. This is called manipulation, then distribution. But there was no model here for us to take, okay? Okay, no model there. So let's go back to our conversation here. There is an answer to that insatiable urge to rectify the wrong that was done, okay? Now, I'm going to give you 2 answers here, okay? The first answer is how to avoid it. The first answer is the avoiding it, that feeling, the solution to that. And 2 is a biblical, spiritual perspective that the Lord gave me that opened my eyes to see something completely different, that I've never seen it this way before, okay? And it has helped me tremendously, okay? So if you don't want to listen to that, you're welcome to leave. But number 1, the answer to this insatiable urge of rectifying the wrong that was done to you when you have losses is stopping before it happens. I know. It's earth-shattering. This is why we have the rules of if you have 1 or 2 losses, for me it's 2 losses, I'm done trading. Because if I know that if my balance gets too low, I have those feelings. And being able to overcome those feelings when you have them is significantly more difficult to get out of that state than it is to avoid the state completely. Yes, it's easy to avoid that state of feeling when you're positive and you're green. Easy. Well, if you don't keep trading, because then you trade and you overtrade and then you start feeling those feelings, okay? You have to set your rule to have a point where you walk away before you have those feelings, because it's going to be easier to walk away when you don't have that feeling than it is when you're overwhelmed with those feelings and now have to make the decision to stop. It is significantly harder. So, you have to convince yourself, you have to believe, you have to have faith that you choosing to stop before you have any negative feelings is the right answer. Typically, in every other area of life, we keep moving forward until it hurts too much and then we stop. For example, I need to work harder at my job. I'm going to hustle. I'm burnt out. I can't do anymore. I'm taking a break. Well, guess what? All of that hard work, your employer saw it. Your coworkers see your effort. Your team sees your hard work, and it's justified why you need your break. When you do that in day trading, I'm going to try to get it back, try to get it back. I'm harder. You actually lose more money. Day trading is such a unique industry that you have to be so present with your feelings, so present with how you're feeling that you can address these issues before they start, okay? The only way you're going to be able to address the issues before they start is, 1, if you know what those issues are. So you're going to have to experience it first, okay? Nobody's going to come in and say, oh, I've never revenge traded before. You're a freaking liar. You're lying. That's just hands down, you are lying. I'd never over traded before. Hands down, you're lying, okay? Or you've been trading for a week, okay? One or the other. It's human nature. So being able to set your rules to prevent you stepping into that state of feeling, that state of being of revenge trading. Oh, I have to rectify this issue that was done to me. I gotta fix this problem. I just need to get back to where I was. I just want to make up for that one mistake that I did. That was so stupid. I gotta fix it. The only way to solve that problem, the best way to solve it, is to have a set of rules that prevents you from getting there. Okay? Set the rules. I like this. It's small, but I like it. 47 seconds. Let's look at the 2 minute here. The 2 minutes going to close in 30 seconds, 40 seconds as well. We got equal highs up here. We had a wick lower. It's still in the macro time. I'm going to be quick at moving my stop to break even, but I think I may take this. All right, so this is the 2 minute. 2 minutes closing is going to be closing at the same time. I'm just changing a slightly different color here. Closes in 15 seconds. Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's not going to give it to us. That's fine with me. Don't give it to me. I'm happy not to take a trade. Okay, so it didn't give it to us. All right, we're still sitting here. Now, I'm not taking the next 1 minute that closes above here because I liked this 2 minute. So that means I need to wait a minimum of 2 minutes to get this to close above it and hopefully the 1 minute at the same time. I'm combining the 1 and 2 minute to close at the same time. So if I'm doing that, I have to reference the 2 minute, which is in 1 minute and 36 seconds. So that means the 1 minute can close above it, and we would still need to wait 1 more minute before we take an entry based on this 2 minute. Okay? That's it. That's what we're watching right now. I think we may get it. So I'm going to pause the conversation, and then we're going to go into the second revelation, I'll call it, on this whole conversation on those feelings and thoughts of trying to rectify the problem that we experience as traders. Okay? All right, so 1 minute close down here. We're closing in 1 minute. I want that 1 minute now, even though it also is the 2 minute, I want the 1 minute to close above this. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. Sebastian, I agree. There is a question that I have had to ask myself too. Am I a steward? Am I stewarding my resources my Heavenly Father has given me if I don't stop and break the rules? Oh, I had to answer that question too. I had that discussion with the Lord as well. He's like, you are not being a good steward of the resources I've given you. That was humbling. That was humbling. And even to this day now, I'll get this icky feeling before everything else happens, and I know it's the Lord saying, dude, you're doing it again. You're not being a good steward. And that's when it's like, I have to make a decision in that moment. And if I don't make a decision in that moment, I'm in sin. I'm choosing to sin against what I believe the Lord's asked me to do. Not being a good steward of what he's given me. 100% agree with you on that, Jason. Come on, folks. Let's make the... Give me something here. I don't think we're going back up here, folks. Okay, look at this candle here. Let's mark this out here. We did wick below this, the midpoint of this wick. I'm measuring this wick. We're hanging out in the premium area, okay? If we close below this again, this wick again, we probably run back to this low. Okay? That's my expectation. If we close below this again, we run to this low. There's our opening range gap still that we're slowly filling. Our midnight open. And then this is our our 15-minute BISI. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Now, in this whole trade idea, there is one problematic thing, and that is this wick right here. Technically, at this wick, you would want to move your stop to break even, which makes this a very tight trade. Because if we go long here, as soon as we hit this 2.5 points, we should be moving our stop to break even. I'm probably not going to be able to do that. I'll probably keep my stop down here until we reach a little bit higher, because that's such a tight stop loss that there's a high probability it's going to get stopped out. Okay. Now, we are looking for a trade going against what is obvious. All of this. Okay, I understand that. If we get a move higher, I really like these equal highs in this Asia low. If we got a move higher here, I would be willing to take a short. But there was, outside of the one that I referenced here, outside of this one trade idea that I said I will take if we get it, but it didn't give it to us, everything else, there has not been an opportunity to go short. In my two models that I trade, I only trade two models, okay? That's a breaker and an inversion fair value gap. Now, you could have called this Asia low as the breaker, but after we go below it and we come back up, I'm not going to take that as my breaker. Sorry. You can see it on the 5-minute. The 5-minute looks nice. All right, so we closed below. This candle right here closed below the midpoint. My expectation is we run this low. Now, on one caveat, many times I will see when a low is put in, we will do one of these deals where we'll wick just and leave a handle or two of space, and then we continue to do that. So it would be something like this. We make our low here, make a high. We don't come all the way down. We make a higher high. We come down. Don't break it, and we keep doing this until we're ready to move higher. Then we do this. Okay, it could look something like that. Or it could just be we wick the high, and then we run all this liquidity, and we keep dropping. If you guys are liking the commentary and you haven't already hit the like button, do me a solid. I would appreciate it. Hit the like button. It's free. Free. Diane, good morning. Could you please share what you use to trade copy? Absolutely. Absolutely. I use Apex's Ninja Trader. So let me find it here and I'll share it with you. All right. This is the, actually I'll drop it also in there. Here you go. There is the link. It's not going to fit, it's not gonna, it looks like it could be a scam, it's not. It's a one-time fee, at least when I bought it. Let's see. It's $100. Yep, here it is, $150. This is what I bought. The early release pricing for NinjaTrader 8 trade copier. Okay. Yes, it's a NinjaTrader, but it works on Tradivate, works with Apex, and you can link multiple accounts. The only thing I haven't figured out yet, and I'm hopefully going to figure this out and answer my own question, is can I have multiple Tradivate accounts? So if I have a Tradivate Apex account, if I have a Tradivate My Funded Futures account, if I have a cash account on Tradivate, can I trade all of them simultaneously? I don't have an answer for that yet. I'm going to, I decided, it was actually 2 days ago, that I was like, all right, I need to look into this. I haven't fully looked into it, but this is what I use for my trade copier. Richard, way to go, my friend. You absolutely could have said, you know what, the trend is lower, get into a fair value gap and run lower. That's not how I trade. And yes, it works, Richard. So way to go being up on the day. I would call it a day if you're up. Actually, you should 100% call it a day if you're up on the day. I haven't taken a single trade. I'm waiting for my model that I want, that I trade. I really like these equal highs right here. I do still like this inversion fair value gap sitting right here. Okay. There is 1,001 different ways to trade. This yellow box is the gap that you're referring to, I'm assuming. This is that big gap, and that's what we're trading in. Okay. If we hit midnight open, I'll be more excited about a long. What did I just talk about, Jason? Was it you, Jason, that I mentioned? Oh, I don't know who I said. I said after we make this low, I said we should get another low, but if we don't, here's what could happen. We'll make a low, we'll make a higher low. Let's see if it wants to expand higher now. We'll see. It's 10:23. We have 20 minutes before the next macro. Honestly, that's when I'm expecting price to start getting tasty, okay? I expect this to happen for maybe another 20 minutes. But we're sitting here watching, we're learning to tape read in the meantime, calling out price action based on order flow and seeing if we can learn, number one. Number two, we're going to continue talking about this insatiable urge to rectify the wrong that was done to us, okay? So number two, going back into that conversation. Ooh, look at that. Guess what we just are shy of? Let's see what happens. We swept this low. We have no fair value gaps here. Guys, this is a setup for this afternoon. It really is. I really think it's a setup for the afternoon. Okay, look at that. We have a fair value gap. Let's see if it keeps. I would love for this to stay here. This looks very nice. This is what I want. It's the nicest one so far. And on top of that, if we can wick this right here. Oh, come on. If we can just wick this, get in here, or I'm okay. I'm even okay with that. And then we have this here. Oh, man, look at this. That's the nicest thing we've seen all morning. Besides the breaker that I missed. All right, so that fair value gap is here. Now, ideally, and we're probably not going to get it, but my favorite type of entry is when this candle closes above this fair value gap in one swift movement. All right, so here's our midnight open. Beautiful. Our 50% level is sitting right here inside this 15-minute fair value gap. So we could still see a push lower into this 15-minute. That would be reasonable. Okay, that's reasonable. But I would love this to close green right above this and remove this fair value gap that's sitting right here. There we go. That fair value gap is now gone. Now, I would like to see us close above here in the next candle or two. If we were to do that, that's 10 handles. That's fine. We have opportunity for 19, 20, 28 handles on the high side if we get all the way back up to here. That would be amazing. Don't know if it wants to give it to us quite yet. We're watching this candle's wick. Do we respect the midpoint of this wick? We don't want to see the candle run below the midpoint. If it does, it may tell us it may not be as aggressive as I am hoping. Okay? So I'm still okay with this. Now I'm not. I'm guessing we're going to see a little bit lower prices. It's telling me that we may want to reach for this 15-minute. You see how we're reading price as price keeps playing out here? See how we wicked below it? We did close here, but then we ran to now there's the 15-minute and the midnight. Okay? When we start seeing aggressive candles like this, this tells us we are almost at our terminus of this price leg. Okay? Here's what happens. Look, this is a great example. Okay? You can see this in price action all the time. At the beginning of the trade, before it actually happens, you'll see consolidation, and then you'll see an aggressive quick move away. Big movement. And then in the middle, you get choppy price action. And then towards the end of the price leg, you will see an aggressive, quick move lower. And then what happens after that could either be a retracement or a reversal or consolidation. Obviously, one of those three. But when we get this type of thing right here, we're about to be finished. Okay? It's about to be finished in my opinion. Look at here. We start off, we move very quickly away. Consolidate, we move quickly away again. Consolidate, choppy price action, move away again. Move away quicker. And then it gets more choppy around where it wants to turn, where it wants to change directions. Now, we have a new swing high sitting right here. If we get this in one move, I probably will take it to this high. Turtle soup time. I don't know what the turtle soup would be on though. Let's see. What do we got on the daily? No, there's nothing here on the daily. 4 hour, we're still in the 1 hour fair, or the 4 hour fair value gap. We're still in the 1 hour fair value gap right here. Turtle soup would be hard. I don't think these are the conditions for a turtle soup. I mean, the problem is we don't know when the low is actually going to be put in. So if we did this as our turtle soup, we may get ran and stopped at break even here, right? Or see, we just don't know where the low is. That's the hardest part with turtle soups. It's a lot easier for a turtle soup when we have a swing high or a swing low. We know where that high is and know that low is, okay? All right, so there's the 50% level of this range right there. This red line. Outside of the one move that I just did not get in, and I'm not sure I would have gotten in it, to be honest, because it was opening price. I probably wouldn't have taken it. I would have had to have some big kahunas to be able to do that. But I called out this breaker. I said I like this breaker. 9:30, we wick up into the breaker, into the fair value gap, and then we just collapse. That is that's a beautiful signature in price. This is amazing. Snapshot this, folks. Snapshot the way this looks right here. And when you can see this again, this is when you want to take risk. I just never like taking risk on the opening price. I don't do that. Other people do. Some people do. I don't, rarely. If I'm in a trade before opening price, I will keep the trade moving. But I typically, very rarely, maybe a handful of times I've gone in on the opening price. All right, so we still got 15 minutes before the macro. All right, so we're going to continue our conversation in regards to overcoming the insatiable urge of overtrading and revenge trading. Okay? Now, this is where I'm going to get a little people would call it religious, but this is personal, real experience on my part. I hate the concept of religion. I don't. I have a personal relationship with Jesus, and I can't tell you how much he has taught me in this day trading journey. So, the Bible says, when we give our lives to Christ, we have become a new creation in Christ. The old has passed away, and we are brand new in Christ. If we're brand new, that means our thoughts are brand new. Everything we are is brand new. And I had this idea. Okay, you remember back when Adam and Eve were in the garden. Adam and Eve didn't have any negative thoughts. Didn't have any. Where did their first introduction of lies and negative thoughts come in? It came in from the serpent, the devil. The devil inputs those thoughts. The devil, the enemy, and his demonic cohort are the ones that introduce negative thoughts to us. When we are believers, this is just biblical, folks. Believe it or not. When we've given our lives to Christ, we become a new creation spiritually. That means the old nature is gone. So anytime old nature thoughts, those thoughts that are negative, are self-destructing, are hurtful, those are not your thoughts. They're thoughts from the enemy trying to remind you who you once were. You once were lost in your sin. You once were without Christ, but now you're not. You're with Christ. And those thoughts now are not your thoughts. So, how does this relate to trading? I had this revelation of a moment when the Lord said to me, through various other people, not directly, I didn't hear the voice of God. It was an impression on my heart, and it grabbed me so much that I literally stopped in my tracks, everything else I was doing, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm liking how aggressive this is right now. It's 10 handles. Do I want to take a 10 handle move? We could easily retrace back down in here. This is a good move if it goes. I'm 50-50 on if I'm going to take it or not. I think I want to wait for the 5 minutes to close. 5 minutes right here. I'm going to wait for the 5 minute to close for a change in state of delivery. There's your entry for the inversion fair value gap. Your entry would be right here. Okay, we're going to talk this out. I'm not taking the trade. Your target is right here. Okay. Targeting this high. As soon as we hit this high, you're moving, you're taking your profit, you're taking size off, and you're moving your stop to break even. All right, stops to break even. We just hit the high. You're taking profit off, and now you're holding for a potential bigger move. I still personally am waiting for 2 minutes because I want to change in state of delivery. I want to know that we're going to close above this level here. If we close above this level in 2 minutes, I will be looking for a long. Way to go, Charles. Nice job. It was a great trade. I decided that I wasn't going to take it. It was an A+ setup. Looked great. And it looks like we're going to get our change in state of delivery, but I want it to close first. Okay. This also will be a breaker. So the change in state of delivery not only is a 5 minute order block, but it's also a breaker, and it also has this inversion fair value gap that we just went long. You took a long in right here, and we want to see support in this area right here. That's what we want to see. All right, so great win for those that took it. I didn't take it. I'm gonna wait for a retracement right to here. We hit midnight open. I'm expecting some type of reaction. I would like us to get back down into this fair value gap, ideally, maybe even wick into this inversion fair value gap here. And I think that is where my long will be. I'm taking this on a micro account. I'm sizing down for today for the morning session. I normally take a single micro or a single mini contract, but I'm gonna do 5 micros for this trade. This is the candle I'm looking for. I want it to be aggressive here. Keep going. See if it wants to give me any more. Give me another push. Give me another push lower. Aggressive. I'm going to take the long. I am now in a long. I'm going to be putting a stop loss of 40 ticks or 10 handles. So my entry is 49, so that means 39. 75. Here's my stop. Let's see if it will give it to me. Alright, so there's my entry. Oh, it stopped me out real fast, folks. I'm okay with that. I'll take that and be done. Let's see if it wicks up. If it wicks up and closes, I may re-enter that. Because that was a little fast, in my opinion. It wicked down to this fair value gap down here. Nope, it wants to run lower. There's a close below this right here for an aggressive move lower. I'm not going to take it. I don't think we want to go lower. But I'm not going to take a long because I think that we are going to go lower. If my same idea is still in play, I will re-enter, but I'm not going to take a new play. My play is still we finding support down here. And then we move higher. I don't like how it disrespected this, and now it's going to disrespect this one most likely. So price action, if it does it twice, I mean, it tells me it's moving this way, but oh, it respected that. That means lower prices right there. At least to this low is how I'm viewing it. Macro time is starting in 1 minute. I didn't realize that this wasn't the macro time. I didn't look at the clock. I'm going to re-enter right here, folks. I'm at break even. Hopefully it doesn't stop me out. This is my entries here as well. I'm wanting it to push above this and be aggressive. I'll move a little bit lower. All right, we're gonna be done, folks. This is why I downsized my positions. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? That's the trade. All right, so now I get the opportunity to explain something that could easily happen for me to right now. What normally would really easily happen for me right now. Okay? Oh man, that just sucks. All right, we just ran that low right there. Look how animated that was. All right, let's finish. Okay, so what I was saying is that I had this. How does all of these, your renewed mind as a believer, relate to trading? When we look at these thoughts that we get that are revengeful, are greedful, are fear-based, those are not our thoughts. Period. Those are not the thoughts of a believer, the thoughts of somebody that has given their lives to Christ, or one that is a new creation. So the big aha moment I had was that these desires of wanting to get back what I lost, to get back to take another trade to try to earn it back, those thoughts are not my own. Those are not my thoughts. And when I was able to separate myself from the thoughts that I was having, I had the aha moment that I can step away from these revenge trades. I don't need to take this revenge trade. I don't have to deal with that urge of trying to make something happen. I don't have to, because they're not my thoughts. They're not mine. So my encouragement to you guys is those two things. Is number one, stop those feelings before they start by setting your set of rules where you can walk away without those feelings. Right now, I have a decision to make. I downsized because I knew today could be a little wonky. I took 2 losses. They don't hurt. The loss, I think I'm down $150. Spread on multiple accounts, I should say. Yeah, $145. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt at all. But if I don't make that decision right now to walk away, to prevent myself from feeling those extra feelings, I'm going to have to deal with the inside rage that comes when you have bigger losses. So Do that. And then secondly, learn to separate you as an individual from the outside thoughts you're experiencing, because they're not your thoughts. They're thoughts from a spiritual perspective from the enemy, trying to steal, kill, and destroy, causing you to give up, have fear, live in doubt, live in unbelief. That's what those thoughts are meant to do. You have to have an undenying, overwhelming conviction that you can do this. And any other thought that tries to present itself above that, you reject. You reject it. That is my lesson for today. That is my lesson for today. I think I missed, if I'm reevaluating my trades today, we hit our 50% level. What is our draw on liquidity? What is my draw on liquidity? Is it these lows? Is it this fair value gap? Is it this breaker? We just hit that. We just balanced out this entire range. Is it filling in this completely opening range gap? I think I have something to learn here. Either way, we're going to call it a day, folks. Thanks for being here. We will be back again tomorrow. I probably will be trading this afternoon session, but I probably am not going to live stream it. Because I said I'm only wanting to take one trade today. I took two based on the same entry, assuming that I just got stopped out from it being exaggerated, but it obviously didn't work. So I did that intentionally because I wanted to save some firepower for this afternoon, which I think is going to be better opportunities. So we'll see what happens today. I will be back again tomorrow, 9:20 Eastern Standard Time. Would love to have you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of us hitting 40 viewers today. If you want to start your funded journey on Apex, you want to use Prop Firm Cash, get 80% off using the code DTJ. Completely free, 80% off for you. Great way to support the channel. That's all I ask if you do use them. If you don't use them, don't move over there. You don't need to. I don't care. But other than that, have a blessed day, folks. We'll see you all